Hello, everyone. So today we are going to discuss one of the topic from the plus two CHSE board, Odisha. So it is the first chapter of the plus two second year. So the name of the chapter is My Greatest Olympic Prize, which is written by Jesse Owens. And I'm going to deliver this in English to English. My name is Shivabrata Nayak, and I'm going to discuss this particular topic, and I'm going to discuss each unit with its proper explanation. Hope you take the benefit out of it. So let's discuss. My greatest Olympic prize. So, what is the title suggest actually? The title, My Greatest Olympic Prize, is seeming that the author Jesse Owens' life. It indicates that it is an autobiographical sketch or it is an excerpt. Excerpt means that's called as a part of his life. Now, in which he discusses some kind of or some kinds of problems that he faces when he tries to achieve his uh, his Olympic prize, his greatest Olympic prize. Now, when we talk about Olympic prize, we know that Olympic or what is Olympic. Olympic is one of the game, or means you can say that it's a kind of a event in which many of the means games are played, and among them, in some of the games, Jesuits have participated. Let's discuss about this particular event, and we also discuss like what kind of a problems Jesuits have faced while he discusses his part of his life. So let's begin this. Before we go to the topic, let me discuss about the author. So introducing the author. So Jesse Owens, who is known as James Cleveland Jesse Owens. So his full name is James Cleveland Jesse Owens. Was born in the year of 1913. So in which where he discusses, or if you look into him, you would find out that he was an American track and field athlete. American track and field athlete means he was an American player, right, who specialized in sprints and long jump. So we know that sprints and long jumps are two of the games in which he participated or he was specialized or he played very well in that. He participated in the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin, Germany. So in Germany, means there was a place called Berlin. So in in that particular place or city, so in the year of 1936, that Olympics was means organized, and where or in which he participated, where he achieved international fame by winning four gold medals. So he participated in that game, and he was getting the famous in that particular event. So as we know that Olympic means is a renowned event in which he participated and he also got the famous. So by winning four gold medals and one, so the gold medals he got through each in the 100 meters, 200 meters long jump, and as member of the 4 into 100, it means 400 meters relay race team. So the point, that's what about the author. So we know that The author was talking about that he was an American track and field athlete, and how he was specialized in sprints and long jump, where and he participated in the year of 1936 Summer Olympics that was organized in Berlin, Germany, and in which he got into famous, right, internationally. People came to know him, right, that he won also winning gold medals, right, and each of the gold medal uh, he got in the 100-meter, 200-meter long jump, and as member of the 4 into 100-meter relay race team. Now, so the first unit discusses that the Olympic Games, what is that actually? It tries to means discuss the introduction of Olympic Games. So what is this Olympic Games actually? If we look into the Olympic Games, it is the world's foremost sports competition, right? Like I pointed, uh, International Olympic Game is nothing but means one of the topmost sports competition event, right? So featuring summer and winter sports, it means it organizes during the time period of twice in a year. So one in a summer season and another is called as a winter season, right? These sports organized in summer and winter, in which what happened, athletes means players, right, from all over the world, means from uh, uh, all the countries, right? They participate in a variety of competitions. So that's what is the introduction of Olympic Games. What is Olympic game? What do you mean by that? Olympic Games, when we talk about that, it's one of the renowned sports competition that are organized during the winter and summer months, right? So, and this is the kind of events where in which many of the players participate from all over the world, right? So, in this particular essay, the essay which is indicating as my greatest Olympic prize. So, where Jesse Owens, the writer, who shares his experiences of 1936 Summer Olympic that was held in Berlin in Germany. So he was describing his experiences, his participation, and how means he won, right, the gold medals that he discussed through this essay. So he pointed that means during the time of 1936 Summer Olympic, when patriotic, so what do you mean by patriotic? That's called as a means feeling love for the country, right? So patriotic feeling were running high in Germany. So it means in Germany means players have also participated, and among them, so uh, there was a kind of a confidence, right, or there was a kind of a means doing something for the country or love for the country was very high. However, Jesuits did not bother, right? So obviously means each citizen, right, of his country or of means uh, her country, so he or she feels proud of it, is not it? So that is why means they do carry the patriotic feelings for their own countries. So Owens did not bother for that, as he trusted in his abilities. Like we all know that if you are full of confidence and if you have that ability, you don't need to afraid of any of the obstacles, any of the problems, right, that you find in front of you. So the author tells that his stunning stories, remarkable stories. So the meaning of stunning is called as a remarkable or means a full of exciting story about forging a lasting friendship with a German, right? Forging, which means called as a keeping, right? Keeping a lasting friendship with a German, right? So it means how he made a means a good friendship with a German player, and he said that making friendship with a German putting differences aside for the love of the games, right? Now he was describing that how, right, he feels he feels something unique, right? He feels that means his love of the game was completely different, right? So that's what he is describing. So let's read the following unit of the text and get the note how Jesse Owens reacted to the performance of his rival. So in the first unit, we are going to note that Jesse Owens' reaction to the performance of his rival. Rival means that's called as a hitch against or his opposition, right? Who was also participated in that game. So the writer stated in the first text that what? He stated that it was the summer of 1936 when the Olympic Games were being held in Berlin because Adolf Hitler childishly insisted that his performance or his performers were members of a master race. Nationalistic feelings were at an all-time high. So the first paragraph clearly indicating about what? That the game, Olympic Games were being held in Berlin. So and it was held in the year of 1936 during the summertime, right? And at that time, so German leader whose name is called as Adolf Hitler, right? So who was whose behavior was like childlike, right? And he insisted, or his point of view that his performance means whoever were participating in Olympic Games, right? So they were the members of a master race. Now, what do you mean by master race? So the meaning of master is it's called as means they were the veterans, they were the experts, they were the means a part of the Aryan race. So master race are called as a Aryan race. So and those members have the means high nationalistic feelings. Nationalistic feelings means in if you talk about in Odia, so we can find out Jatiyotabad, right? So it means they do have the means full of love for their country, right? So and they're full of they're full of dedication towards their country, right? And that was means uh, Adolf Hitler's statement that what now they do have the performers, and the performers were members of a master race, and they do have the high feelings of nationalistic. And the author also stated that what he was not too worried about all this, right? So as he knew that means this those of the things did not affect him. Sometimes what happened if your opposition, right, is full of confidence, can can make an impact on you. So means can create a kind of a means fear on you, right? But at the same time, if you yourself have that ability to defeat, you yourself have experienced, you yourself have also full up skilled, then you don't have to afraid of anything or anyone. That's what the author also stated, that he was not too worried about all this. Worried means what? He did not tense, he did not think about them, right? Why? Now, because he had trained, he had sweated, he had also disciplined himself for 6 years, right? Now, this indicates that the author himself trained for for this Olympic event. So he exercised, he he learned the skills, sweated. Sweated means did a lot of hard work, and he also maintained discipline for himself, right? And that's not for a year or a 2 years. It's indicating that about 6 years, or for 6 years, he had been trained himself, he had been sweated, he had been done the hard work, right? So he maintained the discipline those of the years with the games in mind. So keeping the things in mind that he is going to play Olympic Olympic Games. While he was going over on the boat, right? So while he was coming to Germany, Berlin, to play Olympic or to participate in Olympic event, right? So he was going over on the boat. All he could think about was taking home one or two of those gold medals. So, like it was a dream to him that what? Now, when he returned to his nation, when he returned to his home country, right, he would take at least one or two of those of the gold medals from the event. So he had his eye especially on the long jump. So he believed that he was very good in long jump, right? And that's why he uh, gave priority to long jump a lot. And he believed that from that particular event, he would take definitely a gold medal. So a year before, he was talking about his past and telling about that when he was a university student, he was studying in a university, and at in there, right, he had set the world record of 26 feet 8 1 by 4 inches. It means he set the world record, right? And that world record was nothing but 26 feet 8 1 by 4 inch, right? So everyone kind of expected him to win the Olympic events, hands down. So the meaning of hands down is called as easy. So because of his performance in university, so people believed that definitely Jesse Owens will get one of the gold medal for their country, right? And means to get the one of the gold medal for the country is easily. Why so easily? Now because of his performance. That performance he showed, excuse me, he showed in the university when he was a student. So he set the record. So the author also stated, I was in for a surprise when the time came for the long jump trials. Now he participated in the game and he participated in the long jump trials. So trials means what? It is called as a means a kind of a set, or it is a kind of a means event, and from the beginning, right? So they participated in a trials, so where they have to show that whether they can pass it or not. So he said that he was just startled. Startled means surprise. He was surprised to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost to 26 feet on his practice lips. It means there was a competitor, right? And that competitor was looking a tall boy, right? Tall in height, right? So, and he was means jumping the ground at almost 26 feet on his practice jump. So that was made means that was made author surprised. So he turned out to be a German, right? So, and who was that boy, or who was that tall boy? That tall boy was no one but a German citizen, and whose name is Laszlo. So that boy was belonging to the country called the German, and his name was Laszlo. The author stated that he heard about him. That what? Now he heard about Laszlo, that Hitler had kept that boy under wraps. What do you mean by under wraps? That's called as a secretly, right? So Adolf Hitler kept that famous boy Laszlo in secret, right? Evidently, or means wanted to show that what now at the end of the game, Lajlang would win the jump, right? And Lajlang would means get the one of the gold medal for the country, German. So the author stated that I suppose that if Long won, if Lajlang won, it would add some new support to the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. So the author believed that means if Laslang won that gold medal for the event or for the country, so what would happen? Now Adolf Hitler, who have a thought that means that the country right have certain members who have the master race or who are master race and they do have the nationalistic feeling high, right? And means the theory would prove true. So that is why the author stated means if Laszlo won, it would add some new support or add strength to the Nazis theory. What is the Nazis Aryan superiority theory? Aryan superiority theory is that these people are the member of master race and they do have the nationalistic feeling high and they will definitely win something for the country, right? So the author stated that means it would definitely support to the Nazis. After all, he stated, I'm a Negro. So the author Jesse Owens was a Negro and he stated that same. He stated a little hurt under the collar about Hitler's wage. So by thinking about Hitler's kind of a thought, right, the author felt means full of anger or full of means irritation. So a little hurt under the collar means called as the author found some kind of anger towards Adolf Hitler's thought. So that is why means he felt surprised that how could means the person of the country would do such kind of a thing, right? So that is why means he got into angry upon him. So but at the same time he determined, he was sure to go out there and really show dar for. So what do you mean by dar for? The meaning of dar for is called as a leader. Leader. So, in that case, we can say the author determined that he will show the leader and his master race. His master race means what? His members, right, who are the part of the master race, right, who have the nationalistic feelings high for the country Germany, right. So, to them, means the author wanted to show that whoever was superior and who was superior and who was not. So he wanted to prove that he was superior and he would definitely win a gold medal for his country. And that's what he wanted to prove before the means, German leader Adolf Hitler. So this clearly indicating the beginning of the journey of Jesse Owens in the Olympic event, where he felt that how means the thought of German leader Adolf Hitler. He also means introduced, or he also means first time identified or realized, made the boy, tall boy, whose name was Laszlo. So, in the next unit, we will discuss like what happened after that. So, whether the author whose determination was to show the superiority uh, and to prove the means prove wrong to Adolf Hitler and the means leader of Germany. So whether he got the success or not. Now the second unit where we come to know about it. Now, if you look into the second unit, what the second unit says. So, in the second unit, the author stated about mm, that anger is the worst enemy of an athlete. So, it is a means general truth also. It's a fact that what when you are participating in anything, right? Whether it's a game or whether it's a it's an academic part, right? So, or in any of the areas you will find out that you must control your emotion, and anger is such an emotion, or you can say that anger is such emotion, right, which is nothing but harmful for yourself also, right? So the author stated that means how anger is the worst enemy of an athlete, right? Is not it? So, how anger is the worst enemy of an athlete? Now, let's find out that. So, the following unit of the text and will give us the information that how Owens suffered for his anger, like because of his anger towards Master Race, because of his anger towards the leader, Der Führer of the Germany, right? And how how he suffered, right, how he faced some kind of a problem, right, and if he got the problem, whether he released or whether he came out from it or not, and if he came out of it, then who bailed him out, or who gave him the support, who helped him to out of that problem. We will come to know that. Now, if you see that the author to give the information in the second unit that an angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistakes, right or not? Yes, it is a very good means idea that we draw here, that an angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistake, who cannot, if you cannot control your emotion, then definitely you will make mistakes, right? So because your emotion makes you to do the mistake, right? That maybe with full of excitement or full of emotion or full of sadness or maybe full of anger, right? Whatever emotions, right, that you carry, right? So if you cannot control it, then definitely you will do the mistakes, any kind of a mistake. Like sometimes you find out that people with full of excitement, right, make such promises, later they find means repent of it, so they realize for that. Sometimes because of the sadness, they means lose their presence, and sometime in anger, right, you find out that like how people because of anger, what they do, they throw their mobile phone, they break the TV, or they may break some kind of a things that belongs to them, right? Then what happened when they think those of things in latter stage, they they realize for that, but at that time nothing is there. So that is why whenever you feel into excitement, whenever you feel into full of sadness, or whenever you uh, m- means realize the emotion of anger, right, you try to control that, right? If you unable to control, then you will definitely make the mistake. So the author stated, as any coach will tell you, right, that what now an angry athlete is an athlete make mistakes, right? So the author stated that he was also no exception, right? So it means the author pointed here that he did the mistakes because of the anger. But why did he get into anger? We know from the earlier passage or earlier unit that he got into anger because of the thought provoking nature, thought-provoking nature of means German leader Adolf Hitler. So that what? Now, how did he keep secretly the boy, tall boy, Lars Lang? So, and how did he believe that he have the master race, or he have the members, right, who are who belong to the group of master race, or you can say means he have the kind of a theory that called as Aryan superiority theory. So, on the first of his three qualifying jumps, so the author here stated that how did he make mistakes? He stated on the first of his three qualifying jumps, right? He jumped from several inches beyond the takeoff board for a no jump. It means he disqualified, right? He jumped. I leapt from several inches, means he jumped from several inches beyond the take-up board. So obviously we know that when we go for the or when we participate in any of the long jump, right? So we need to means we find out means one of the box was made on the surface, right? And we need to means make our lift, right, from that box to the means a particular place, right? So that's what also means the author did. But what he did the mistake, he did not means board for a jump, means in the take up section, right? So he jumped from several inches beyond by the means out of the take up board, and for which what happened, he was disqualified. On the second jump, so he did even worse than the first one, right? And that's why he realized that whether he came to that particular place, right, from 3000 miles of his place, right? So that's why he stated, did I come 3000 miles for this? Did he come to that place from 3000 miles of his native? So in that particular way, he realized that, and he thought bitterly. He thought bitterly means he felt also very bad. So he felt very bad because he failed in the trials, right? If he got into or if he passed in the trials, right, he could means get into the next one. But again, means he pointed here that in the two of the jumps, right, he felt, right? So in the first jump, so he took or he jumped from several inches beyond the take-up board, and which was calculated as disqualified. In second jump also was means worse than the first one. That is why he realized that means if he failed in the trials, right, so he would not means participate in the finals, right? So he realized bitterly, and he thought bitterly, and stated himself that to fail in the trials and make a full of himself. So he was means really feeling bitter and also bad, right? And really feel absurd, fool, right? Walking a few yards from the pit. So pit is referring to nothing but ground, right? So or from that take a boat. So walking a few yards or few areas or few means yards, we know that area from the means ground. He kicked disgustedly at the ground. So like we when we get into the anger, we kicked the ground, right? Similar to that, he kicked it, but with disgusting or frustrating or called as with an embarrassed thought, right? He kicked the ground. Suddenly he felt, or suddenly he realized that someone was putting hand on his shoulder, right? But who was that? So he turned to look into the friendly blue eyes of the tall German long jumper. So he found that that person was none other than so a German long jumper, right? Who had easily qualified for the finals on his first attempt. Like we knew, right, that when he jumped, he cleared it in the first attempt. by jumping 26 feet. Right. So he offered the author a warm handshake. So it was the introduction between each other. So they both meet each other first time there. So the author stated that means he offered me a warm handshake. So and he stated that Jesuits I'm Lazla, right? So I don't think we have met. He spoke English, right? So here we find out that both introduced and he said that means he was Lazlang, right? And means they both started talking to each other. And the author stated that he spoke English well, though with a German twist to it. It means that there was a kind of a means accent problem that was found in its speaking English, right? So the author said that glad to meet you. So the author felt means or author told him that he felt glad to meet him, then trying to hide his nervous, but the author was means nervous, and we know that why he was nervousness because of his failure in the trials, right? So trying to hide his nervousness, right? He added, or means the author added, "How are you?" Right, and Laszlo said he was fine, but at the same time he asked the question, "How are you?" So when the author surprised and asked, "What do you mean?" Like when you are making an expression and telling to somebody, right, "How are you?" So it means you were not asking, right, that, or you knew that someone was in intense situation. So that's what could identify, right, when Jesuits was in tense situation. So Laszlo identified that means Jesuits was absurd fool and also getting into anger, and also means a failure can clearly visible in his on his face, right? So those are the things when he found means at the same time he asked him a question like, how are you, right? And the author realized that he knew. So Laszlo here said that what? Now something must be eating you. So Laszlo asked him directly that something was means making you problem. Something was creating problem to you. He said, proud the way foreigners are when they have mastered a bit of American slang, right? So the author was saying that means foreigners and means like those people who are the outsiders and their means speaking of language, right? So and here it is simply talking about American slang, right? So they have mastered a bit of American slang. He said something must be eating you, proud the way foreigners are when they have mastered a bit of American slang. American slang means American language. You should be able to qualify with your eyes closed. Believe me, I know it. Right. So Laszlo was trying to give him confidence by saying that means he knew, Laszlo knew that the Jesuits would means easily qualify for the finals. Right. So and that's why he believed him. He said that he believed him. Right. And he knew that. So I told him, and it felt good to say that to someone, right? So last means Jesuits understood that Laszlo was trying to console him. That's why Jesuits told him that it was good that when someone said this, right? For the next few minutes, we talked together. Now look into it. Now, this line itself is telling that what? Now they both made a friendship. So for the next few minutes, we talked together. We have a very good relationship we created. I did not tell what was eating me. So Jesuits trying to hide his tense and nervousness and the problem that he faced, that the anger he had, right? So he did not want to tell, right, what was creating problem to him. But he seemed to. But Lazlang understood that, right, that it was his anger, means Jeshuin's anger, that was creating problem. And he took pains to reassure me and what he was trying to do, Lazlang. So when Jeshuins was in anger, Jeshuins was in problem. So Lazlang was trying to make him assurance, console, although he had been schooled in the Nazi youth movement. So the author was saying that means although he belonged to means Nazi youth movement, or you can say that he was one of the member of Aryan race, right? Or you can say master race. Yet, right, what happened? He did not believe in the Aryan supremacy theory or Aryan supremacy business. So, what do you mean by this Aryan supremacy business? We know that from the earlier passage that Aryan supremacy theory. So, Aryans are the powerful and they do have the full of nationalistic feelings and they would definitely win Olympic gold medal for their country, right? So he did not believe in the Aryan supremacy business any more than I did. So the author made his comparison with Charles Lang and stated that both did not believe in the Aryan supremacy theory of the Germany. So we laughed over the fact that he really looked the part. Now we understood that means both were talking about the Aryan supremacy theory, right? And they both enjoyed the fun of it, and they both means laugh for it. Whereas Laszlo, who was nothing but the part of that means Aryan supremacy business or Aryan supremacy theory or master race. Though, so the author stated that by stating the means physical appearance of Laszlo, so Jesuin stated he was an inch taller than Jesuins. So he had a so what is his means of physical structure? He had a lean or thin, so muscular frame. So muscular frame means clearly identified or tall and means a thin boy. So having a clear blue eyes and means completely fair hair and a means extremely handsome boy. So or extremely handsome face also. Finally, what happened? Meeting that I had calmed down somewhat. So author's meeting with Laszlo made the author calm, peace, right? He pointed. So Laszlo here gave some suggestion to the Jesuits. He stated that Jesuits should take the means Jesuits should means look at the take up board carefully. So he said to the Jesuits that look, why don't you draw a line a few inches at the back of the board and aim at making your takeoff from there? So it was a kind of a suggestion from Laszlo to Jesuits that to draw a line of hitch, right? Or means draw a line few inches at the back of the board. So means the board means there was a means a particular line which was made by the means organizer. So what Laszlo suggests to Jesuits that he should make a line back of the board and he should make an aim at making his takeoff from that particular line which he draw. So and he said that you will be sure not to fall, right? So that's what is nothing but Laszlo's encouragement towards Jesuits. He also said that you surely or you require to jump far enough to qualify. So that's what Laszlo's advice to Jesuits that to make a line right before the board before the take-up board, and Jesuits should put an aim to that particular line, and he should means surely make a jump far enough to far enough means in a such a way so that he should qualify the trials, right? So he should qualify. What does it matter if you are not first in the trials, right? Tomorrow is what counts. Remember, this line is very important. Tomorrow is what counts. So what the Lajlang was telling here, that the trials are not the finals, right? And trials are made for only to uh, get the opportunity of playing in finals. That is why Lajlang suggested Jesuits that whether you get the first or whether you get the second or whether you get the third doesn't matter. Matter is only you need to qualify for the finals. That is why. So you should take an aim and jump far enough to qualify for the finals. That's what. Because today is not the final, tomorrow is the final. And tomorrow in the finals, right, you need to think about the first position. But at first, your job is to, or Jesuit's job is to qualify for the finals or qualify for the participating in the finals, right? That's what Lajlang's suggestion towards Jesuits. Suddenly, all the tension Jesuits had, right, or Jesuits have, seemed to about. So what do you mean by about? The meaning of about is called as a means pass out or called as a left or called as a disappear. Right? Why disappear? Now because Jesuits gave him right a beautiful suggestion, and that suggestion right made the Jesuits means comfortable, relaxed, and his attention went out right from his body. So suddenly all the tension seemed to disappear from his body or of his body as the truth of what he said hit me. So obviously whatever Lajlang said was the truth. And that truth was means tomorrow is what counts, not today. Today he needs to only qualify for the finals. So confidently Jesuits drew a line a full foot behind the board. So whatever Lajlang said, Jesuits did the same. He drew a line a full foot behind the board and he continued to jump from there. And what happened? He qualified with almost a foot to spare. Right? It means in an average, he qualified for the finals. Now, when he qualified for the finals, what happened after that? Let's see that whether he got means gold medal in the finals or not, right? So that's what is nothing but a question, and means how Laslan who held him, right? Means whether right means his support to him continued till the finals or not. That's also we need to see. Now, in Unit 3, we are going to learn that or we are going to know that. So, in Unit 3, it is stated, do you believe in the adage? Let me point out the word adage means what? That's called as a short a short expression or a short saying, right? So, what is that short saying? Short saying. So, you can say that a short saying is that a friend is a need is a friend indeed. So obviously means we know that the value of friendship, right? But a friend who is also considered as a true friend, right? Who helps you all in your ups and downs situation. And that's what the short saying is said, that a friend is need is a friend indeed. It means a friend who helps you in your needy situation is called as a truthful friend. Right. Now, the let's read the following unit of the text and note how Jesuits and Laszlo became good friends. So this unit will tell us that how they form the good relationship and how they means how their friendship continues till till the end. Now, the author stated here in the third unit that what? That night I walked over to Luzlung's room. So uh, the day means he finally entered the finals. Finally, he qualified for the finals. Right? Finally means he he took over his problems. Finally, his attention means went out of his body, right? So that night, he walked over to Luzlung's room in the Olympic Village to thank him. So we know that means Luzlung and means Jesuits have made a good relationship, right? Luzlung helped the Jesuits for qualifying means qualifying to the finals. So he stated, Jesuit stated, that night he walked over to Luzlung's room in the Olympic Village. So to thank him, why did he go to thank him? Because means Luzlung helped him right in that day for for means qualifying for means entering the finals. The author stated, I knew that if it had not been for him, I probably would not be jumping in the finals. Right. So he gave all the credits to Laslam by stating that his suggestion helped him a lot to enter the finals. So he said, we sat in his quarters and talked for 2 hours. So, about track, about field, about themselves or ourselves, the world situation, and a dozen other things. So, they were talking about on different topics that may be track, that may be field, and they discuss about themselves. They talk about the situation that arose in the world and then and a dozen other things. And finally, they realized, or when the author realized, or author finally got up to leave the nuns Jesuits room. And at that time, the author stated, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed. Now, Nuns Jesuits and Luslang had made a very good friendship, right? And a true friendship they had made themselves. Lodge would go out to the field the next day trying to beat me if he could. Now we knew that means Jesuits was the participant, same, right? Means Luzlung was also participant. Luzlung belonged to means you can say that Luzlung belonged to Germany, whereas Jesuits means played for America. Right. So that is why what happened, both were the competitors, both were the participants, right? Participants of the Olympic event. But the author knew that he wanted me to do my best, right? So why did Laslang want Jesuits to do, right? Jesuits to do his best? Obviously, because both are good friends, right? Even if that meant my winning, as it turned out, right? So even if means would Jesuits would win the game, right? So that's what Luzlung want also, or that's what Luzlung's wish. So Luz broke his own past record. So when Luzlung did the Leslang did the jumping, or called as a long jump. So what happened? Leslang broke his own record. So what was his own record? So it was his own record was 26 feet, and he broke his own record. In doing so, right, he pushed me onto a peak performance. So, but at the same time, he wanted also Leslang wanted also Jesuits to do or to show the top performance. Even if means Lozlong wanted, Jesuits should beat him, right, and make himself top, right. So I remember that at the instant, the so the author was remembering that day he landed from his final jump, the one which set the Olympic record of 26 feet 5 1 by 4 inches. It means Jesuins was saying that he set the record in Olympic by jumping or jumping of 26 feet pipe 1 by 4 inches. He was at my side. He was at my side means Lajlang was praising for Jesuits, congratulating Jesuits, despite even if he knew that Hitler looked at him or Hitler looked at us. So Adolf Hitler, who was the leader of the Germany, so he was looking at means Jesuits as well as Lajlang. So from the stance not 100 yards away, it means he was very close to means us, means the author as well as Lajlang. Lord shook Jesuin's hands hard, right? So, and or Lord greeted means Jesuins. And it was not a fake. The author said that his greetings to me was not a fake. Like sometimes we realize that our friends, right? Friends congratulate us for our success, but it was seeming like they were not happy from their inside. But in the case of Lazlang and Jesuins, greetings to means each other, right, was not seeming a fake one. Smiling with a broken heart sort of grip either. So you can say that smiling with a broken heart sort of a grip either. So the author stated that it was not a fake. It was not means uh, greeting me from outer side and means like from inside you are completely sad. No, it was not like that. So the author was stating you could melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and there would not be a plating on the 24-carat friendship I felt for Laszlo at that moment. So the author was telling that what was this gold and what was this cup, right? That does not means that does not replace the kind of a relationship they formed, and that relationship was called as a friendship. So the author was means the author felt very happy that what in that Olympic event he stated himself that his winning was making him so happy, and his happiness was not the fake one, right? And such kind of a friend is very rare. That is why he said that his relationship with him, right, is not comparable, right? He stated even that what now means he could melt down all the gold medals and all the cups he had, right? But those of the gold medals and the cups could not be make means coating could not be coating on the 24-carat friendship. It means his friendship is real, authentic, and shining one, right? Like the 24 carats gold medals, right? So he stated that I felt for Lazlang at that moment. So he was feeling for for the German boy Lazlang. So the author also stated that it was not the author who only felt, right. It was not the author who only felt about Lazla, right. So the author also stated that he also felt the same, right. So and that is why he said, Lazlang at that moment I realized then too that Luz was the epitome of Luz was the epitome. So, what do you mean by epitome? The meaning of epitome is called as an means typical example. So, typical example of what Pierre de Coubertin. So, who is Pierre de Coubertin? So, Pierre de Coubertin was the founder of the modern Olympic Games, right? So, he was the founder of the modern Olympic Games. And what did he say? He say that, or he must means that must have had in mind when he said the important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning but taking part. So the essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. So that's what Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympic Games, stated. And the author said that what Luslang must agree that what he was the typical example, right, who believed, right, that what winning is not important. What is important? Participation, right? He also stated that what means winning is not important, but fighting well is also important, right? So that is why means the author praised his friends, right, a lot. So he stated that how his friends helped him a lot in means achieving means those gold medals which he means which he got it from that 1936 Olympic event. And what was his greatest Olympic prize? His greatest Olympic prize is not that which he won in long jump, right? He stated that his greatest Olympic prize is that he created a friendship with Luslang. And the kind of a friendship between Luslang and Jesse Owens was the absolute gift for him. And that was his first Olympic prize. So which he carries for, he enjoys, right? So that's what he discussed in this particular topic. And this is the memory which he discussed in his autobiographical topic. I hope you understood this particular topic. If you really like this lesson, if you really like the explanation, please send me your feedback, send me your query through my WhatsApp number, or you may also mail me. My WhatsApp number is 9692119187. I'm repeating it, 9692119187. You can also send me your feedback or your means your um, what you actually understand from this, any questions or any query. So if you would like to send me, so you can send me through email also. My email ID is lecture.in.english@gmail.com. So let me write my WhatsApp number. So that's a 96921119187. Okay. So you can also send me your feedback or query to my mail ID. That's a lecture.in.english@gmail.com. Right. So that's all for the day. So we'll meet in the next video next with the next topic. Right. That's all. Thank you. Bye bye.